Hello everyone, hope you're right. In today's video, I'm going to plant nasturtium seeds. Nasturtiums are really big, beautiful climbing vines and produce large number of beautiful yellow, orange, red, different colored flowers and look good against a fence or an arch or in a hanging basket. So they have lots of potential and they also make very useful companion plant. So you can plant them around your vegetables and they protect your vegetables from lots of pests like nematodes, slugs, snails, caterpillars and bugs like aphids. So they are really useful plants. Here I have got nasturtium seeds and you can see they are kind of big seeds. So you can also plant them with your kids. They will enjoy planting them and watching them grow. Here I have got 9 nasturtium seeds and I'm going to plant them in this seed tray. I have got some sweet pea seeds going on in this tray as well. So I have got 4 rows of sweet pea seeds on the left side and I'm going to plant nasturtiums on the right side where I have got 8 empty cells. So I have filled these cells with multi-purpose compost which I use for all my planting, and I have made some holes in the middle of the cells with my finger. So you make sure that you use some good quality multi-purpose compost or potting mix for your seed starting or planting in containers, and don't use the garden soil because that's kind of heavy and compact and it's not good for seed starting or planting in containers. Plants can suffer in with that kind of soil. So this multi-purpose compost is really nice, loose and moist, and I'm going to put one seed in each hole. I have got 9 seeds, so I may put 2 seeds in one of those holes. I also grew nasturtiums last year. You can see in the picture, this is the picture from my old house where I grew nasturtiums against this metal fence, and it eventually covered the whole fence. So it was so vigorous. This is only one plant in the picture. You can see only one plant and cover the whole fence, which was like 4 by 4 meter fence, and it looked really beautiful. So I really like these plants, and last year I had like 50% germination rate with nasturtiums, which was okay. I had like 2 to 3 plants and those were enough to cover my fences. But let's see what happens this year. I may get more plants, so I'm planning to plant them in different scenarios, which I will show you further along the video. So please keep watching till end because I'm going to plant the seedlings in different conditions, which is kind of interesting. So here I have put these seeds in each cell and I have covered them with more compost. So you need to plant them at least 1 centimeter deep, not too deep or they will have trouble germination. So 1 centimeter deep is enough, and make sure to water the soil afterwards. So that's all basically with regards to starting your seeds. You can start them anywhere from January to May indoors. So it basically depends on your climate. They like a little bit cool weather but also sunny, and they don't like frost or near frost. So I won't be able to plant them outside up until May, late May or June. So here after 5 weeks or so, I'm getting ready to plant some of my nasturtium seedlings outside in containers and hanging basket. So basically we have had really nice weather throughout April, really nice sunshine weather, and my nasturtium seedlings are running out of those small seed starting cells. They are kind of big climbing plants and they have deep root system, so they can run out of those small seed starting cells very quickly. So they need to go into bigger pots or in their final destination. So I'm going to take a little bit of risk now because we can get a frost. We open till June, we can never be 100% sure, but I'm going to take a little bit of risk. So I'm going to plant some of them outside, and I will pot some of them up in a bigger pot. So here you can see I have got this seedling out, which is basically two seedlings here in one cell, and they are kind of compact with each other, so it could be a little bit risky to try to pull them apart. So I'm not going to pull them apart, I'm going to plant them as it is, as they are. So I'm just loosening up these roots a little bit so they grow in all directions. So gently fluff up the roots, and here I have filled this big 40 centimeter container with multi-purpose compost, which is nice loose, and I have moistened it really well. So here I'm going to make a hole on one side of the container and put my seedlings in and pack them with compost really well. So you need to make sure there are no air pockets around the roots, so and there are no big lumps. So I'm making sure that they are nice and compact in this spot, and as you can see, this spot is next to an arch. So I'm planning to train these nasturtium plants up against this arch. So they are climbing plants, so they need some kind of support. So I'm going to train them against this arch. So here I am watered them really well, and they're looking good. So hope they grow really nicely in this pot. I will fill this pot with more plants later on, so it will be a really nice display of colors. Secondly, I'm going to plant a nasturtium seedling here in my gravel bed up against this wall, which has really good fence on top of it. So I will train this nasturtium plant up against that fence, so it will look really good. I have done lots of videos on how to plant in gravel bed in detail, so I will include a link in the description in case you want to check out for detailed instructions how to plant in gravel bed. Next, I'm going to plant a nasturtium seedling in this hanging basket. This is a small, I think 10-inch diameter hanging basket. This is from last year. I had some plants in it last year which were done. I took them out, and now I am going to refresh the soil. I have some soil from last year, and I have added more compost in it. So basically to refresh the soil, whatever in it is, and I'm going to add some chicken manure pellets, which are slow release fertilizer. They have like 4% nitrogen, 1.5% phosphorus, and 2% potassium. So nasturtiums basically thrive in any kind of soil. Basically they thrive in poor soils. They don't need rich soil or fertile soil, and they do better in poor soil. But in hanging basket, I do feel like it's very like narrow medium, and they are not going to get any sort of nutrients like from anywhere. So it's a good idea to include some fertilizer in the hanging basket, so they will it will help them to grow better. So here I have got my nasturtium seedling, which is looking good, and it's nice and compact. I have loosened the roots a little bit, and my soil is ready. I'm going to make a hole in the middle of the compost. First I need to water it really well because it's looking kind of dry, so I'm going to water it really well. Here I have got liner, which will keep the soil in but let the water go drain out. So you need to make sure that the water drains out and doesn't stay in there. So here the soil is nice and moist now, and I'm going to make a hole in the middle of the soil and put my nasturtium seedling in there. I'm going to plant only one seedling in this size of hanging basket because nasturtiums have deep root system. They do need lots of space to grow, and they grow really huge and wide. So I'm not going to plant any other plants or in this hanging basket, and once they grow, they will fill up the basket and they will be trailing all around the basket, so it will be a really good display of flowers. Finally, I have got some seedlings left over which I'm not ready to plant anywhere in the garden yet, so I'm going to pot them up in bigger cups. So this year I had really good germination with nasturtiums. 7 out of 9 seeds germinated, which is really good. So I have planted 2 of them in one patio container, one in my gravel bed and one in my hanging basket, and I have 3 left over here. So I'm going to plant them in these 9 centimeter nursery pots, which will give them more room to grow, and they can stay here in my greenhouse for a month or so maybe, and after that I can decide where to plant them. So it's same thing again. I have filled the cups with multi-purpose compost, really nice, loose and moist. Put my nasturtium seedling in there and fill it with more compost, making sure there's no air pockets and the soil is nice and compact. So it's really easy process. I will strongly recommend that you do try to plant some nasturtiums this year. They are really beautiful plants. I even like to use them in my cut flower arrangements, and they are really useful as a companion plant in vegetable garden, or even for ornamental purpose. They produce a really good display of colors, and they really fill up the garden. So they are really easy, and I will say if you want to fill your garden with colors on a small budget, nasturtiums are the plants to go for. So if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, as it helps me to make more videos, and click on the bell button so you receive all the notifications. Your opinion matters to us, so please leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.